Bridget and I'm in 11th grade.
Sarah Khan and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Vin and I am a senior.
My name is Catherine Brommer and I'm a sophomore. My name is Mia Sikora and I'm a junior.
My name is Kira and I'm a junior.
I'm Noella Delpy, I'm a senior.
My name is Lou Totley and I am a junior.
My name is Sarah Schelling and I'm a junior at Chatham High School.
My name is Jonas Wilcox and I'm a senior.
My name is Emily Smith and I'm a sophomore in high school.
I'm Nancy Chacon and I am a senior.
Claire Williams, freshman.
Aiden Manning and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Ava MacArthur and I'm a senior.
My name is Jillian, I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Victoria Slattery and I'm a sophomore.
This is my 3rd year. I think the biggest challenge I face while designing is like making sure everything fits right, because like actually fitting it to a person is a lot harder than fitting it to a mannequin. So this year the theme was numbers, and so I was like, what can I do with numbers? So I looked up the root of the word numbers and it led me back to Arabic for numerous, and so I based it around an Arabic design. I think my favorite part of Catwalk is the end and getting to see everyone's finished products, because you get to go around and like talk to everyone a little about what they're making, and really seeing what they like brought to life is really cool. I think I've just been doing it since freshman year, so I've really just like, I want to keep doing it until I graduate. But my grandma inspired me to start sewing, because when I got my first American Girl blog, she made a little coat for it, and it was just like the cutest thing ever. I loved it.
This is my 2nd year of Catwalk. The biggest challenge I faced while designing is finding the concept I wanted to use. I initially wanted to do math, but I realized it was too abstract. There were so many concepts in math. There were spirals, there were just general numbers, and I thought it was too hard, so instead I picked playing cards. I decided to use that and turn that into like this whole like casino cabaret thing with like these bold red colors. Took a deck of playing cards and I just got my designs from there. I did Catwalk last year and it was a great experience despite the challenges, and so I decided to sign up for it again because it gives me an excuse to make my own garments. When I was a kid, I watched a lot of fashion movies, like Barbie. Especially this one movie, Barbie and a Fashion Fairy Tale. I watched that when I was a kid. It was my favorite movie, and that inspired me to start sewing.
What was the biggest challenge you faced while designing?
Connecting the chest piece and the waist was really hard for me, because when I was pinning it, I kept on poking myself, and also it was a really hard piece to connect. My dad always talks about the Fibonacci sequence, especially when I was younger, so when we found out about the theme Countless Possibilities, the first thing that was in my mind was the Fibonacci sequence. My favorite part was going shopping for fabrics. I always really liked it, I guess. I had a stuffed animal when I was younger and I used to make clothes for it, and I've just like always really liked doing things like this.
This is my 1st year doing Catwalk. The lining of my dress, because I basically have to make 2 dresses and like put them together. So favorite part of Catwalk is definitely seeing all my friends there and just like getting out of the house and sewing. It's like super fun. My mom inspired me to start sewing because she always did growing up, and she has like a fashion background, so growing up I always took sewing classes. This is my 1st year doing Catwalk. I would say my biggest challenge while designing was definitely like all the pattern pieces. My pattern has me making like all the pieces and putting them together separately, and then like making the dress. I found inspiration pretty quickly. As soon as I heard that the theme was numbers, I went straight to 007. So I kind of just like was looking at all like the different like Bond girls over the years. I think I started at the 60s and I ended up in the late 70s. My favorite part is definitely like all the people that I get to see when we go. I was definitely inspired by Miss Schmitter. So I'm in her sewing class and I saw her and she told us about it. And a lot of girls I know signed up for it. I've always loved fashion, and I've taken sewing classes in the past when I was probably like 12. But I kind of just went into this because a lot of people I knew were doing it, and I thought it would be fun.
This is my 1st year doing it. So far I haven't faced anything super bad, but I would say it's been kind of difficult to like line everything up and pin everything. I heard the theme was gonna be numbers, so like I thought of 27 dresses. My favorite part of Catwalk would be spending time with my friends and seeing all the designs like come to life because everyone is so creative and everything is just so good this year. So my mom is actually a seamstress. She has been for a few years and she volunteers her time for Catwalk. So my older sister also did it, and growing up I would always go to the shows and it would be so much fun to see everything, and I just thought that I should totally do it one day, and here I am.
I've been doing Catwalk for 4 years. For me, it was probably coming up with the theme because I just didn't really have anything like jump out at me. I kind of like the idea of doing like a time of day inspired outfit. My favorite part is seeing like everybody's designs come together. My grandmother was a sewer, and so was like my great grandmother, so they kind of, I don't know, it's like in my genes, I guess, I don't know.
This is my second year in Catwalk. I like drawing, so I draw a lot of characters, and I wanted to see how the fabric would work so then I can draw it. So I drew a design and then I made it. I like working and figuring out how to do new things because I've never done sewing before. No one really inspired me, but my grandma and my great-grandma, they sew. So they never really showed me anything, but yeah.
This is my second year. I would say the biggest challenge I faced was my pattern piece. There's a ton of pieces to it, and it was very overwhelming at first, but as I started sewing my gown together, it became much easier. I found inspiration for my design by looking through old TV shows and old movies, and I came across 90210. So I knew I wanted to do something with 90210, but not really based on the movies or TV shows about it, so I just decided to base it off of like old Beverly Hills. My favorite part of Catwalk is just being with my friends every Tuesday and Thursday. The Catwalk community is so nice and very helpful. I would say what inspired me was I did it last year and I had such a fun time, so I knew I definitely wanted to do it again this year. My mom inspired me to start sewing, and also my aunt, because they both worked in the fashion industry and I really grew a love for fashion from them.
This is my first year doing Catwalk. Honestly, the biggest challenge that I faced was probably learning to read the instructions. When they said the theme was numbers, I immediately thought of, there's this piece, I think it's a Japanese designer, and it's a shirt with like way too many buttons and they're like all like misaligned, and it's kind of like strange and off-putting to look at. So when they said numbers, I thought, well, what if I just like did like numbers of things that shouldn't be there. It's hard to pick a favorite part. Obviously, I love the design aspect of it, but also just like it's a very chill vibe, talking with everyone there. Like everyone's like artistic and passionate and very nice, like everyone. Well, I took fashion design. I have been trying to take fashion design for a couple years and it never worked in my schedule. So this year I took it, and I really enjoyed learning how to sew. And I'm interested in theater, and I'm generally interested in fashion. So I'm like, I should probably know how to make costumes and make garments. I mean, yeah, I probably was just inspired to start sewing by doing theater.
This is actually my second year doing it. Definitely like making my vision a reality while still like having the time and budget like make it work. I did like phases of the moon and like kind of like medieval celestial interpretations. Cutting everything up and sewing everything together with everybody and seeing everyone's designs come together like at the same time. I had a friend who did it a couple years ago and I did it last year and it was really fun. Both my mom and my Mimi sew, and we've like done it together since I was little, and so I love sewing.
This is my first year. The biggest challenge for me was finding the right pattern. So when they told me about the numbers theme, I was brainstorming and I came with the idea of like, I wanted to show where I'm from. So I wanted to show Costa Rica in a vibrant, relaxed way. My favorite part is the meetings every week. Going back to last year, I had the meeting with my counselor and I figured out that I wanted to do fashion design in college. So he told me about the fashion design course with Miss Schmitter, which I didn't know we had it here. And So I started the course last year, and one day I came to class and Miss Schmitter told me, oh, we have this catwalk type of thing. I didn't know what that means, being honest. Since I was like 5, my grandma, she sewed dresses. I helped her one time, so it was a lot of fun. And then when I started the fashion design course, I put all of that in practice again.
This is my first year. This is like the first year that I've used a sewing machine before. So I took the fashion design class. So I had some knowledge of how to use a sewing machine, but you know, it was still like tricky and new for me. I think related to the sewing machines, getting to use them so often, it's definitely helped me build confidence. So what actually happened was in my fashion design class, Mrs. Schmitter, who's the teacher, she actually recommended me to do catwalk. And I was like, sure, that sounds like a fun idea. I would say probably my mom, because I remember being little and I would get like holes in my clothes and then my mom would mend them.
This is my second year in catwalk. The biggest challenge I faced is probably how much fabric I had. I had 23 yards of fabric this year, which is like 5 times the amount I had last year, and it took up like half the length of the hallway behind me. I would have to like lay out all my fabric and just like fold and refold to get the pieces I needed. It was so much work. The immediate thing that came to my mind was like Taylor Swift and doing one of her eras, but after talking with my sister, she was like, you should do something like midnight themed, but I wanted to make it a little bit more creative and like magical, so I decided to do like Cinderella's dress at midnight and like the magic turning back to rags. My favorite part of catwalk is probably seeing like the vision come to life and just starting with like sheets of fabric and then like making like a dress out of it. It's just really cool to see. Definitely my mom and sisters inspired me to take part in catwalk. Both of my sisters did it when they were in high school, and my mom has her own sewing company and she always just like can alter something if it doesn't fit me quite right, and she's just like a really big inspiration to me.
This is my 3rd year doing catwalk. The biggest challenge I faced when designing was probably figuring out how to make a V neckline. I've never done that before and I had to go off of my pattern piece. I was really stumped when I found out the theme was numbers, and my mom and I were watching a classic rom-com, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and I was immediately inspired when I saw Andy Anderson's yellow dress. I love working with such talented designers. It's so inspiring and everyone's so positive and kind. Well, since this is my 3rd year doing it, I thought it was only right to finish it out my senior year, and it's something I have enjoyed for the past few years. My grandma has always sewed. I learned a little bit when I was younger, just like little hand sewing projects. But I took Miss Schmitter's fashion class my sophomore year of high school, and she asked me to be part of catwalk, and it kind of just took off from there.
This is my 2nd year doing catwalk. The biggest challenge that I faced while designing was probably the time pressure, because like when you're designing, sometimes you don't know how long certain steps are gonna take you. I was thinking a lot of like models kind of and celebrities. Like I was thinking of Kate Moss a lot and like a lot of her kind of off-duty pictures. I took part in catwalk this year because I did it last year and I thought it was really fun. I've always kind of like known that I wanted to sew, just because like I've always liked being able to kind of like customize stuff and make it my own. So I wouldn't say like a specific person really inspired me. There's just kind of always something that like I knew I wanted to be able to do, just like a skill I knew I wanted.
This is my 1st year doing catwalk. The biggest challenge I faced while designing was with my lining, because I realized that I didn't buy enough. So I had to repurpose a lot of my other fabrics, which made actually in turn the bodice turn out better because it made the dress like more stable. I mostly pull inspiration from Pinterest because I just like scroll, and then if I see something like pretty, I'll just kind of like think of a way to incorporate that into my dress. The number thing was hard, but what I decided to do was kind of like look at playing cards and then think of like which ones like would work well with the dress. So I decided to take like the Harlequin playing card specifically and then make that the theme of my dress. My favorite part of catwalk definitely is finding colors and fabrics and like accessories you love, and then it's very like trust the process sort of thing. So it's really fun to like see it all come together, like when you finish a stitch or like the skirt and it's like, oh my gosh, I just like made a dress. I think last year I went to the senior fashion show and I saw like the catwalk segment and I was like, oh my gosh, like those dresses look so cool and fun and I want to do that next year. So then this year I knew I wanted to do it. No one really inspired me to start sewing, but I think that like I realized I was buying a lot of clothes and wasting a lot of money, so I thought it'd be cool to like make my own and then like save money that way.